pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a moment of silence, please? Roll call next.
Council President Sturts.
Here.
Councilor Coast.
Here.
Councilor Shamp.
Here.
Councilor Chamberlain.
Present.
Councilor Sturts.
Here.
Councilor Fry.
Here.
All members are present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. We have approval of the prior meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Chamberlain and second by Councilor Coast. Councilor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Councilor Coast.
Yes.
Council President Sturts.
Yes.
Councilor Shamp.
Yes.
Councilor Sturts.
Yes.
Councilor Fry.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. We have a couple committee reports. We'll start with our park board.
Okay. Dave Murray got some bids from Bruce Ernst Asphalt for a coal process versus blacktop at Middle Park. It'd be quite a bit cheaper. Everybody got maps at one time, and the park board was thinking about doing like C, D, E, and F, and possibly G, H, and I. That would be the main middle of the park, and then a couple more years after that, we could do the rest of it. They can't do it in May because it has to be at least an average of 50 degrees. So the problem there is, then you get into June, and you have baseball, and then you're getting into soccer. So they're not quite sure when they could do it. But Perfection Finishers, they did the same process as they did theirs on a Friday, and they were able to drive on it and park on Saturday, or on Monday. So it doesn't take long for it to settle, and you're fine with it. Just for a comparison to the blacktop, if you did the C, D, E, and F, G, H, and I, it would be about $41,000, and it'd be 13,047 square yards. Now, when we did the blacktop, we were talking 25,000 square feet. Don't hold me to my math here, but I believe that's about 2,777 square yards for 40,000. So this process, you could cover about 5.5 times more space than the blacktop. So it is quite a bit cheaper. I mean, in a perfect world, blacktop would be great, but this seems to hold up. We did it at the cemetery. We didn't do the black process on top because that's fairly new, but it's held up 15 years. The only place that it gets bad is under the trees, and you're going to get that with blacktop or anything else too. But if you have sun on it the whole time, it holds up really nice. And I plow the snow there. We wouldn't be doing that at the parks, I wouldn't think, plow the stone, so that wouldn't be so rough on it. So, I guess I think at this committee of the whole, we had talked about parking bumpers and maybe painting lines so people will park in the right spot, so that is an added expense. So, I don't know if we had talked to Dave about that.
Yeah, I did, afterwards, and he said, yeah, it won't hold up as good as what it does in blacktop, but it will lose.
Yeah, that factory did, I went by there, they painted the lines, so they look good.
What about the stoppers to keep people from?
I did talk to him afterwards, and he said that he does have some stockpile. He was gonna check in on the price,
Okay.
but I'm aware of.
There was no updates on the pool. The only thing that they were gonna do with in the pool area was take the trees out that they had planted there and put them in different places in the park. That's about it.
You have the equipment to be able to move those trees?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the other trees, but
Yeah. They're not
They're not
humongous,
that
any-
big.
Right.
but they do have a spade. I think that's it.
Cool.
Is a recommendation?
Yes. There
Dennis,
is one
anything jumps out to you
recommendation.
that you would object to the cold process?
No, I've used it before.
Okay.
So there's,
I'd make a motion, I'm sorry, Mayor.
yeah, I was reading through the minutes here, so I see that in here it states a small area, and that's what you're bringing the estimate in on, is this small area, correct? Or are you talking about the estimate is going to be on the EDC and
E and F.
E and F?
Yeah.
That's the estimate, because there's two different
Well, he,
requests here in
yeah,
this
well,
minute.
Bruce broke it down.
Right.
The different things, and I guess they had talked, didn't we had talked about CD and F?
Right.
And possibly GH9.
There wasn't no definitive numbers or letters that they were gonna do, but that was
Yeah.
the suggestion that they
Yeah.
wanted to do, as far as, and it was approximately a third of, from what I understood, a third of what needed to be done out there.
In essence, council is willing to go ahead with this process as opposed to the blacktopping.
Yes, I understand all of that. I'm just reading, this.
There's 50,000 budgeted, so we're accepting this process, this Ernst process,
All right, I understand.
with the idea that they can determine which sections.
Now, they're actually gonna do some excavating, and Dave thought that would, he had set aside 10,000 or the 50 for that, but he thought maybe, someone told him it'd be like 6 or 7.
I'm just reading the minutes here. It says
Yeah.
Paul recommended doing a small test area and see how it holds up in a year.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
And that's a
I realize
recommendation.
that, yeah.
And then there's also another recommendation, so there's actually two recommendations in this minutes. So what council is bringing forward is,
To accept the estimate and go with the whole process at Biddle Park.
that's why I'm saying there's actually two recommendations in the park recommendation.
Yeah.
So council is bringing forward this. So we're going off of council's recommendation in it. Okay.
I think there's only one motion recommending something. There was some other,
At the estimate, we're going on the
Recommend-
estimate
Right.
recommendation and not this recommendation. That's what I want to make sure. Okay,
I'd make a motion that we accept the estimate as authored by Bruce Ernst Asphalt.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Shamp. Is there any more discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Coats?
yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. Let the dust settle. Move on to the tree commission.
Tree Commission met on Wednesday, April 13th. Started out, Tom Savage telling us that he's going to be changing jobs and resigning from the Tree Commission, partly because he won't be able to attend the meetings the time we have them. And there's a correction in the minutes. He said that Larry Fry will be taking his place, but it's actually Dave Murray is suggesting that Larry Fry take his place, another city employee that does a lot of work with trees. Next item on the minutes, that Tree City USA Awards Day will be on Wednesday, which is 2 days from now, April 20th, in West Unity. Also, Jim Spees had reported that he's got things set up at Leggett Street School and the middle school for the Arbor Day program. We've got 2 trees purchased for planting there. Something I don't have prepared for all of this, and I don't think we need a recommendation for this, but Jim Spees moved that we accept a tree commission policy that Kim Bowles had worked on for her Tree Commission Academy. It's about 6 pages long, and I have it on my iPad. I suppose I had to forward it to all council members, but it's, to me, it's just a policy for a tree commission to try to conform to. We also, again, talked about the penalty for vandalism of the trees and looking into language to address this situation, and then we plan on bringing it to safety and code. And after adjournment, we left to plant a couple trees at Little Park and at Homecoming Park. That's about it. Oh, yeah. We did have Larry Fry make a motion to adjourn on that meeting, and he isn't a member yet, so that's also another correction that should be put in there. So I guess maybe we're still in session.
To be continued.
We all did agree to adjourn.
So there's no need to act on
I don't think so, no. Nothing to act on, right?
No.
So moving on, let's go ahead with department head reports. David?
Good afternoon. There's a lot of things going on in the grant world right now. Working through the downtown grant for Wauseon. Today, or Friday, I did receive the plans, the engineering services. Peterman and Associates went out and surveyed and did the work for the ADA ramps. Did receive those plans on Friday. I'm still awaiting the estimate for the cost. Hopefully that's in my email right now, but I do suspect that I'll get that this week sometime. Since we've eliminated the one-to-one requirement for the grant, there's a lot of interest now. So I am no longer nervous about getting the money spent. I think we'll get the money spent and distributed out to the building business owners
Now the August deadline.
by the August deadline of August 31st. So it's going to be a little nerve-wracking, but I think we'll be able to do that. Downtown, we'll start seeing some physical activities, I'm hoping within the next month. And then in the midst of the summer, June, July, that's when we'll see our perk of activity. So there's some good facade improvement projects, along with some other, a lot of roofing projects also. So a lot of people are wanting to get their roofs updated. And folks must be dealing with a lot of leaking and things of that nature with the older buildings. So it's going to be good to help out those folks with that. And then with the library, I met with some library folks today and their architect that they're working with. Went over the Targets of Opportunity grant. That was a $200,000 grant that will help the library with their foundation, much needed repair and upgrades there. I believe part of that project is they're moving an elevator and then updating some of the ADA compliant inside the library. So that is a new program I'm not very familiar with, but I'm looking through the grant agreement. They have, I believe, until September 30th to accomplish that phase of the project that we're helping out with that grant. So.
Thank you.
Sure.
David, is the facade work on the upper crust grant dollars? Did you know?
No.
Okay. All right.
Not at all. I informed the business owner there that it did go to 100% grant, but it sounded like that funding was 100% secured already. So.
Okay, Chief Sluter had a call right before the meeting. He thought he was going to be back in time, but obviously he wasn't. So, Chief Sluter.
Okay, we've been working on several of the grants, and we have the one for the cameras. We are meeting with them later this week to get started on the installation of those. Also, Safety City is well underway. We have a month and a half before it begins, and already have 50 kids signed up for the program, so our Youth Police Academy will be starting about the same time. Applications are out, so if anybody needs one, please contact our office, and we'll get one sent out to you. A couple of notes for the citizens. It's nice out, so watch out for the children. We've had a couple of close calls, so be careful. They are out and about, and they don't necessarily watch out for the traffic. And on the Linfoot Street project, just a reminder, it's only one way. You have to go in from Montague Street, and you have to go out from Shoup Avenue. Don't try and go the opposite way, it causes problems for us. So you have to go on in Montague, and you have to leave on Shoup. The only other way you can go is into the businesses.
And businesses are open.
Yes, the businesses are open, but the side streets are not. So we've had a couple of cars try and make those bumps, and they learn the hard way that it is very difficult on the bottom of your car if you make that drop.
Didn't go well, huh, John? I thought Chief was looking at you the entire time.
I'm just reminding John so he doesn't go. He's kind of setting his ways on which way he wants to go. But yeah, by the looks of it, it looks like they're getting the work done fairly swiftly, so hopefully we won't have to have this problem much longer. That's all I've got.
Tom?
As you're aware, Sarah's Garden's doing the addition to their facility. They started digging footers today, so that'll be a nice project we have. You can see the doctor's office on Shoup as the frame is going up. And I too need to recommend to people that it's now the grass season. We had our first official complaint. We went out, the first letter goes out tomorrow. So mind your grass. If you don't cut it after you get the notice, it's rather expensive. Our average is about $150 per mow if we have to go out and do it with our service that we have. So
Don't put it in the streets.
yeah, and don't blow it into the streets because it clogs the storm sewers. So that's about it. It's the construction seasons. I've had a few others come in for planning, so
Good.
looks good for this year.
Dennis?
I really don't have too much for.
Bag the grass for 150? You bag the grass for 150?
It gets bagged.
Oh, that's nice.
I really don't have too much for council this evening. Chief Corbett sort of stole my thunder about the one-way traffic on Linfoot. For the most part, it's working out okay. After this week, Vernon Nagel will be, well, maybe after tomorrow, they'll pull out for the rest of this week. They're waiting on ODOT approval for the line stabilization process that has to go on the cut-down surface before they start building the road bed back up. They hope to have that by Monday. So if you see them leave for a few days, hopefully it's just for the rest of this week, and by Monday they can get back at it. But yes, the process went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to, so that's good. Public Works Department's also working with Sarah's Garden for their addition with regards to upgrading their water service. We have a plan in place, met with them and their engineer it should give them plenty of water for anything they can develop on that campus. Currently, they're supplied off of Linfoot Street on a 4-inch main, and we're going to change them over to Lawrence Street off of the 12-inch main and send a 6-inch main, or an 8-inch main, excuse me, an 8-inch main back to them. They'll have their own fire hydrant back in there and have plenty of water for their sprinkler systems, fire protection, and anything else that develops back in there. So it's all good. That's all I have.
Jamie?
I do not have anything new to report tonight. I do have a resolution on the agenda for a budget amendment. If you have any questions regarding that? That's all I have.
I'm continuing to work on the ramping up for the annexation of the bike trails. I had to collect the legal descriptions, which are somewhat voluminous, and I'm going to sit down with the surveyor and try to figure out what we actually need to satisfy the statutory requirement with respect to spelling out the perimeter of the area to be annexed. I don't know if we're going to need actually a separate survey of the points or whether the legal descriptions will suffice. That's what I need to figure out. But once we got our handle around that, whether it's the legal descriptions or a survey, then we'll be in a position to put together a resolution for council to consider to authorize the filing of the petition with the county commissioners. And then that should be just a short 30, 40-day process, I think. And then we'd be set to annex. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, we had met with the revolving loan fund committee with respect to the old Sterlina loan, and there's an offer of settlement by one of the parties and been authorized to pursue that settlement, so trying to track that down. That would leave just one of the guarantors who's left over in Indiana, and we'll be following up with that. I think we've collected roughly a third of the amount so far. There's a good chunk of change, I think, now that some of the folks have paid off their commitments. There's some money in the revolving loan fund. We're working with David and coming up with some ideas on how to invest that. And some other odds and ends, but that's the gist of it, most of it.
Moving on, first reading of legislation. Resolution 2016-5. Amend ordinance 2015-16, annual appropriation ordinance by authorizing the Director of Finance to increase or decrease certain line account appropriations within the various funds listed within the year of 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Shamp and second by Counselor Coast. Is there any discussion? Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Frye?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. And motion carries and ordinance, resolution 2016-5 passes and is now in effect.
Second reading, ordinance 2016-5, amending section 523.03 of the codified ordinance of the city of Wauseon.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Sturts and second by Council President Sturts. Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Frye?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2016-5 passes on second reading.
Okay, nothing under third reading. Under new business, the only thing that I have to bring up is that Wednesday we'll be going to the Tree City USA to present. The Tree Commission is going to be presented with 2 awards this year. They usually, they sometimes, but usually always get the Tree City USA Award, which is presented to them. They used to have the
Back here.
over there. They moved it. It's now back there. Years ago, it used to be up here. But this year, they're also getting the Growth Award, which is something that I think is an honor for you guys that that they're getting. So myself and I think Dave is going to go too. So
Good.
we will be there Wednesday to see that. So I commend them for that, and hopefully they will be here to get an acceptance from council next time we have council meeting. Anybody else have anything under new business? Or, yeah, new business. Anybody? Motion for approval of bills?
So moved.
Second.
Rick. John.
Motion moved by Counselor Frye and second by Counselor Shamp. Counselor Frye?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts? 6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, we have a motion for adjournment?
Motion moved by Council President Sturts and second by Councilor Coats for adjournment. All in favor? Motion carries.